Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Taylor Swift video. Now, this one I am skipping Reputation and going straight to 1989 because as the time I'm recording this, and I'm pretty sure as the time that this comes out, we still do not have Reputation TV. I highly doubt that we will have a Reputation TV announcement even by the time this comes out, which is only like a week from when I'm recording it, probably. But we're skipping over that and going on into 1989. Now, before I get into 1989, don't mind everything behind me. It's a mess right now. As a matter of fact, I just got a bearded dragon unexpectedly yesterday. I know you probably can't see him now, or her actually, but yeah, so the unexpected pets lead to messes. The thing about 1989, it came out originally in 2014. And this was a very interesting time for Taylor, because Taylor not only completely changed her look, but she also completely switched genres. So a little of the history behind 1989 is that so she wrote Red before 1989, and Red, I believe it was Album of the Year, but Red went up for Album of the Year nomination. And it ended up not winning. And the main reason that it didn't win is because it wasn't sonically a cohesive album. And as we all know, Red has very different feels to it. And there isn't any cohesiveness really to the album. So she didn't win Album of the Year, and that was kind of her like, okay, I need to write a sonically cohesive album. And already at this time, during Red, she had switched from country to kind of, I would honestly say Red, it was kind of a country rock. It had a little bit of everything. It had a little bit of country, a little bit of rock, a little bit of pop. So it was a lot of things, again, adding to the sonically incohesiveness. So she made the turn from country to pop. And some people even call this the pop Bible. But she decided to switch from country to full-on pop, and the album blew up. It's one of the best albums that she has ever written, and I say that meaning like it's been the best album she sold, in terms of how many people have bought it, how many people listen to it, how many people still listen to it, and all that stuff. And I'm wearing my 1989 TV cardigan, so I guess that's fitting for this video. So with 1989, it was Taylor Swift's first fully pop album. And it blew up. Everyone loved it. I didn't like it at the time. Well, I would say I didn't like it at the time, but I didn't even know who Taylor Swift was at the time. But a little bit of background for the album as well. For this album, she was seeing Harry Styles. There was a song about Tom Hiddleston, and I think that's it in terms of the men she talks about on 1989. I don't know exactly, but it's mainly about Harry Styles, which there was controversy over that. Some people think that that was just a PR stunt, and I'm not one of those people, but Either way, Taylor and Haley are wonderful people. But she and Haley were seeing each other at this time. It only lasted for about, I think, a few months. But a lot happened there, and she ended up writing a whole album about it. But they parted ways eventually, and even though with the vault tracks it seems like it was kind of a very nasty parting, they are on good terms today, so that's good. And a lot of a few other things around this time is she was dealing with a lot of the media and a lot of people slandering her for seeing multiple people, like just going through boyfriends and all that. People were calling her, you know, whore and slut. Can't exactly say those on YouTube. But the media was just being very harsh on her at this time, and some of this would bleed into Reputation, but there was a lot more that happened for Reputation to come out, and Reputation actually is supposedly replaced the Lost album, which I'll talk about that when I talk about Reputation, but today we're focusing on 1989. But with the media slandering her for going through men, and with a lot of people just not liking her that much for the same reason, this album's kind of an ode to that, and also like it's an ode to Haley and an ode to the haters. Shake it off, haters gonna hate. But that's pretty much what was happening during this time. Except I forgot, one essential thing that was happening during this time too was she was going through her ED problems, which I'm not going to get much into that because I've seen a lot of people only attribute the 1989 era to her ED issues, and that's just cruel and unusual, because yes, she had a eating disorder problem during this time, but she's gotten better. She overcame it, and she's gotten better from this time. But that's pretty much what was happening around this time during 1989, the 1989 era. Another thing she did was totally change her look. She went from, so she had long curly hair for first 3 albums, and then for the Red era she kind of she flattened it out, but then she totally flipped it around for 1989, and she cut her hair short, and for a time she even bleached it, and Bleach Ella came out of that. I can't tell you much about that. And again, as I said in my last video, I'll link down that girl Ali Sheenan's page, because she can tell you a lot more about this stuff. And she's actually made videos about like the eras before the TVs came out and stuff. She also just posted a Eras Tour vlog, which is super exciting. But anyway, she completely changed her look. She had the short hair. She's skinny because of the ED, but she's skinny. She's wearing like shorter clothes and stuff. She's not wearing super conservative clothes, but she's also not wearing super liberal clothes, I guess. But like her whole persona kind of changed. But 1989 was the year that she was born, so this album was a little bit different because This album got more into herself and the friendships she's had, the friendships she's forgotten, her relationship with Haley, and a few other things, like Shaking Off the Haters or Blank Space, which is essentially, Blank Space is essentially a backlash at the media being like, oh, you want to see crazy? Here's crazy. So it's not just an album about whole breakups anymore. It's an album that's about many different things, but the sound is sonically cohesive because it's all this synth pop, which I will say with the original version, we didn't get a lot. We got a lot of the pop, but not a lot of the synth. But with Taylor's version, we got so much more synth, and I love it so much. But again, that's pretty much the 1989 era. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the cover. For one, this is one of my favorite albums covers. Like, it's so beachy, it's so fun. Which it's interesting that she went towards the beachiness of it, because yes, 1989 already had that like summer, middle of summer, having fun feel to it, but it opens up with Welcome to New York, which I know New York has beaches, but it feels like a very, before we got these covers, it felt like a very city album. It still felt like the middle summer, but it felt like the middle summer in New York City kind of album. But now she's switched it to where it's kind of like a beachy, sitting on the beach, sipping a margarita, just living my life type of album. Which I actually kind of like even more. I love the summer, beachy, fleeing themes that I get from the album cover. I also want to say the first cover that we've gotten where she's actually smiling, and it makes me so happy that she's actually like, she's happy enough now in her life that she can smile on her, that she's okay with smiling. There was a picture which if I can find it, I will put it here now. But there was a original picture from the 1989 photo shoot that they were going to use, which had Taylor smiling in it, but it was just like her mouth and maybe like her nose, but not her eyes. But they didn't go with that one. They went with the current cover of the stolen version because she felt insecure about her smile. So the fact that we went from that to her being okay with her smile is amazing. Also, I like how she didn't cut her hair for the 1989 era, but she made it look like she has somewhat short hair. It doesn't look as short as it was for the original era, but it still looks short. But let's go into the songs a little bit. The songs on this album are great. So the thing about the Taylor's version is that it's all, everything except the vault tracks is sonically cohesive. It's all synth pop, and it's all high and fun and all that. And then you get to the vault tracks, and they're all of a sudden these like mellow, kind of not as fun. They're still poppy, but they're not as like fun get up and dance songs, which is interesting because the song Slut The song Slut, I've heard from many sources and I've read from many sources, Slut was actually supposed to be the song that was in Blank Space's spot. It was supposed to be Welcome to New York Slut style. But because she... So while I like Blank Space better than Slut, I do enjoy Slut. I think that one is my least favorite vault track. But it's still a good vault track. This is only the second Taylor's version where I've liked all of the vault tracks. But that being said, I will say 1989 is it's a very close favorite album of mine from Hole. I would say 1989 is my second favorite, only second to Reputation. Right now, this is my favorite, but that's also because we haven't gotten Reputation TV yet, and I feel like the Reputation vault tracks are going to kill me. So we'll see what happens when that happens. I'm excited about that. But we also have I think only about a month until the Torture Post Department, and I cannot wait to listen to that one. And I can't wait to review it for you guys too, because this time it'll be more of a new to the album review, instead of, oh, we've had this album for months to years now, so we already know everything about it. But I would say that this album by itself gets a 10 out of 10, 100%. I love this album. There's no skips. I love every single song on it. I used to not before Taylor's version. Before Taylor's version, I did not like Clean, and I didn't like Clean, This Love, Clean, This Love, or New Romantics. But now I do, and I like all the vault tracks, so 10 out of 10, standing alone by itself. Compared to the other albums, my personal opinion, I would give it... I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, because there's not... The only album I like more than this is Reputation. I think it's one of her best written albums. I will say that Folklore and Evermore have better lyrics probably, but I would say 1989 is one of her best written albums. Even though I think that Red potentially has better songs on it, but this album definitely is very high up on my list for everything. Lyrics, the lyrics aren't anything special to me. The lyrics to me just feel like, if we're gonna rank it off of lyrics, I'm probably gonna give it a 7 out of 10, because there's nothing special with the lyrics. So when you listen to the lyrics, it just sounds like any other song, I guess. There's a few lyrics that are like, oh, stepping up her game. But it's not like Folklore where there are insane analogies and insane connections and all that. So that is my review of 1989 Taylor's version. Also, sorry, my favorite vault track is probably Say Don't Go. It's definitely Say Don't Go. My favorite vault track is Save Don't Go. But that has been my review of Talos Version 1989. I don't know why I said it like that. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. View it as many times as you want. And subscribe for more of these, because we've only done 4 albums. 5. Hold on. Wow. Yeah, we've only done 5 albums. This is only our 5th album. We still have 5 albums to go. 6 once Tortured Poets Department comes out. But definitely subscribe so that you can get notifications about when I post more of these videos. And I will see all of you in the next one.